going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So let's start off. We got some small news in the hockey world. So Patrick Kane signs with the Detroit Red Wings. Interesting move. The reason he's not signing until now because he had hip surgery right after the season ended. So he's just recovering now. So that's why he decided not to sign until now. Figured teams wouldn't want him right away in the off season. He's much older now, but Detroit picks him up. He's not near the same player. I mean, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. You look at his numbers in the playoffs. He won three Stanley Cups in Chicago. Last year, he bounced some injuries in Chicago in the first half of the year. Wasn't near the same player. Of course, he gets traded to the Rangers at the trade deadline and was not near the same with the Rangers. He had only 5 goals and 12 points in 19 games. He had just 1 goal and 2 points in the 7 games playoff series against the Devils when they lost in the first round. So he didn't do a whole lot. He's not the same player. I do think he's still a solid, probably third line player. So I do think he can help a team, but not near the same. But Detroit picks him up. Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks owner, now we go to basketball. He has sold his majority stake in the Dallas Mavericks to Miriam Alderson for $3.5 billion. So he still has minority stake in the Dallas Mavericks, but most of his stake now belongs to Miriam Alderson, he's very involved in Vegas. Owns a bunch of casinos, I think, in Las Vegas. So he's now getting involved in the NBA. He's the majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks, but in a very odd setup here, Mark Cuban, not only does he still have some of his shares of the Maverick, he still has a part of the Mavericks. He also will remain in charge of the basketball operations as he always has. He's as hands-on as you can be for an owner, and he will still be in charge of the basketball operations, which you don't see very often. Very, very, very rare. You see an owner sell his majority stake and then not only keep some of his shares, but stay with the organization and still have any sort of control in the organization whatsoever. But so that's the deal with Mark Cuban. Love him or hate him. I don't really like him, but he is an extremely smart businessman. The comeback player of the year in MLB were just named for the American League was Liam Hendricks. Nationally was Cody Bellinger. Bellinger kind of makes sense. He didn't come back from anything. He just kind of sucked for 3 years, and then this year was actually good with the Cubs. Hendricks, though, of course, he overcame cancer. He came back from his cancer diagnosis, and then unfortunately ended up having Tommy John. But he came off cancer, then pitched for torn ACL for a while. So he makes a lot of sense, obviously. So shout out to him. So there's something going on with Corey Perry and the Chicago Blackhawks. We don't know what. So the Blackhawks have waived Corey Perry. He's 38 years old, obviously. He's been around a very long time. Was with the Anaheim for Rebels a year. He's bounced around in recent years. He was in Tampa for a year. I believe he lost in the Stanley Cup 3 straight years with 3 different teams. He was in Tampa for a year. He's definitely bounced around since his long tenure in Anaheim. Chicago signed him to a 1-year deal worth $4 million. He's still like a solid fourth line player. They brought him in. He was playing pretty well, actually. But something happened. He didn't participate in the warm-ups. I think on November 22nd. Then he stepped away from the team on the 25th, which was Saturday. And now yesterday they waived him, and they are going to terminate his contract. So they're going to cut him. Apparently, there was some workplace conduct that happened. There's some sort of misconduct. There was a rumor that he was fooling around with Connor Bedard's mother. The GM Kyle Davidson completely shut that down in his press conference. But something happened. I don't know what. I don't want to speculate until all the details come out. So hopefully some more details come out about him. But Corey Perry is no longer a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. He has been placed on waivers, and he will be released. So he'll be basically a free agent, and something happened. Some sort of misconduct happened. We don't know what, but something did happen. So hopefully we get more information on that. But Corey Perry's been let go by the Chicago Blackhawks. All right, I want to talk about the NBA in-season tournament. Then we'll get to game picks. The quarterfinals of the in-season tournament, which I think is kind of stupid. If anything, what they should do, they should say whoever wins gets an automatic play-in spot, and they end up making the playoffs. It doesn't matter. That would make it really interesting. You can say, oh well, a team should, if a team has a worse record, should they still be in the play-ins over a team that had a better record than them? I mean, if you if you have, even if let's say you win 33 games, but you somehow won the in-season tournament and get into the play-ins, and you beat out a team with 38 wins or even 40 wins, if you're not even 500, do you really even deserve to be in? So I don't think that'd be a problem at all. But all they do, they win the NBA Cup, some little trophy, and then each player gets some money. Yes, we're giving millionaires more money. Totally makes sense. I don't know. But the quarterfinals are set for the Eastern Conference. Will be the Milwaukee Bucks hosting the New York Knicks, and it'll be the Indiana Pacers hosting the Boston Celtics. Indiana's been playing very well this year. In the West will be Los Angeles Lakers, who ran the table in the in-season tournament. They will be hosting the Phoenix Suns. But the Lakers also just lost to the Sixers by 44 points. So, but the Suns, their whole team is basically hurt. Beal's still out. Booker and Durant in the lineup, and they don't really have a bench, to be honest. And then you have the Sacramento Kings hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. Malik Monk with a game winner over Golden State last night to send the Kings to the next round. So it is November 29th right now. The in-season tournament quarterfinals will be December 4th and 5th. So each will have like normal regular season games up until then. December 7th will be semifinals, and then the championship will be December 9th. I think this thing is stupid. First of all, what is it these like really weird customized courts? They look so stupid and hideous. They look awful. Beyond awful. I think it's stupid. Yeah, teams, if they advance, but the tournament's still going on, they play like normal regular season games. And once they get eliminated, they go back to playing like regular season game, while other teams play like games in the in-season tournament. And now all the quarterfinals set. The next few days, it'll start for a few days. So now all the teams are playing like normal games, and then it becomes the in-season tournament on December 4th. Like, it's so dumb. I don't get it. The whole point of the season is to, you're playing to win the NBA championship. Like, who cares if you win a freaking NBA Cup in the in-season tournament? I don't get it. To me, it's stupid. I really don't get it. All right, so let's talk about the college football playoff rankings now. We'll start with the top four. Georgia is at 1. Michigan's at 2. Washington jumps to 3. And Florida State is at 4. So Florida State back into the college football playoff. Top 4 rankings. And you have Oregon at 5, Ohio State at 6, Texas at 7, Alabama at 8, Missouri at 9, Penn State at 10. You have Ole Miss at 11, Oklahoma at 12, LSU at 13, Louisville at 14, Arizona at 15, Iowa at 16, Notre Dame at 17, Oklahoma State at 18, NC State at 19, Oregon State at 20 as they tumble after a loss to Oregon last week. 21st is Tennessee, Tulane at 22nd, Clemson at 23rd, Liberty at 24th, and Kansas State rounds it out at 25th. Without further ado, let's do our game picks. First for college football, it is Conference Championship Week. First game is the Conference USA Championship, number 24, Liberty against New Mexico State. I'm taking Liberty. They're undefeated this year. They've played really, really well. Obviously, they lose their coach last year. They've still been down, so kudos to them. I'll take Liberty. They should win that one. That's Friday at 7 o'clock. For Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Pac-12 Championship. Number 5, Oregon is number 3, Washington. The winner of this might go to the college football playoff. If Washington wins, they're definitely in the college football playoff. If they lose, they're going to be out, and Oregon might sneak in. Also, we got, 2 star quarterbacks, Michael Penix in Washington and Bo Nix in Oregon. The winner of this might win the Heisman. Right now, my pick is Penix, but I think Bo Nix is right there. And if Bo Nix bowls out and beats Penix, you might have to give the Heisman to Bo Nix. So I'm aligned in this game, in this Pac-12 championship. The last Pac-12 championship we're probably going to get for at least a while, with that conference being just completely disbanded this past year. There'll be only really 2 teams left. I think it's Washington State and Oregon State starting next year. But I'm going to take Oregon. They had a phenomenal game earlier in the season. Washington snuck by. But it's a rematch. A lot of times in rematches, the team that loses wins in college football playoff. The team that lost the first time, a lot of time wins. You don't want to lose 2 times in a row. You've already seen them. And I'm gonna take Oregon. They're favored by 9.5. I think it's a little bit much. So they'd be favored by 9.5, considering Washington's got a better record and they beat them the first time around. But I'll take Oregon. I'm gonna take Oregon to win that one. Big 10. Then we go with Saturday. The Big 12 championship is number 7 Texas against number 18 Oklahoma State. I'm gonna take Texas. They've played really well all year. Besides that one loss to Oklahoma, I'm gonna take Texas. They're definitely gonna need some help to get into the college football playoff. They're gonna need probably Oregon to win, or they probably need Florida State to lose. To be honest, it might be tough. But if they win, you think, depending on what happens, it's gonna be tough. Well, I'll go into all that when I'm done going over all the game. But I got Texas over Oklahoma State in that one. SEC championship is Saturday at 4. Number 1 Georgia against number 8 Alabama. I got Georgia. I think Alabama, maybe they'll keep it close, but I think Georgia pulls away in the end. I still don't think anybody beats them. I'm taking the Georgia Bulldogs. You got SMU against number 22 Tulane in the AAC championship, the American Athletic Conference. I got Tulane in that one. SMU has played well this year. They've rebounded. Of course, they were awful for so long. At the death penalty way back when. A couple years ago, they were better, and then Sonny Dykes lose. He leaves to go to TCU. They weren't great last year, but they rebounded this year. But I'm taking Tulane. They've been really good these last couple of years, so I'll take Tulane. 8 o'clock Saturday, Big 10 championship. Number 2 Michigan against number 16 Iowa. I'm taking Michigan. I think Michigan's favored by 23.5. I don't think it'll be that lopsided. This should be a very good game. Iowa's got a phenomenal defense. Problem is they cannot score. Their offense is not good, but they've got a great defense. Michigan also got a great defense. They've had the best pass rush probably in college football in the second half of the season, and they also, their offense isn't any slouch. They got one of the best running backs in the country, and Blake Corum, JJ McCarthy has overall played very well this year. So I'll take the Michigan Wolverines to win the Big 10 championship for the third year in a row. And then also at 8 o'clock Saturday, you have the ACC championship. Number 14 Louisville against number 4 Florida State. I'm taking Florida State. Obviously they don't have their quarterback. They only beat Florida, who's not very good, by 9 points. It was a close game. Obviously, you lose your star quarterback Jordan Travis a couple of weeks ago, and Louisville's overall had a good year. I think it'll be a good game, but I think Florida State comes out on top. So based off what I have happening, looks like Georgia is in, Michigan is in. Those will be the top 2. Washington drops out, so Florida State's probably the third team in, and then that last spot is between probably Oregon, Texas, and Ohio State. So we will see what happens with the college football playoff. But let's go to the NFL game picks. Week 13 in the NFL. Thursday Night Football tomorrow night is the Seahawks against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys. The Seahawks, they're a weird team. They're very inconsistent. One week, Geno will go out there and play really well. Their offense will be firing on all cylinders. They'll be good defensively. They'll look like one of the more complete teams in the league. And then next week they'll go out and Geno Smith will throw 2 picks. He'll look awful. The offense will look stale. They won't be able to stop anybody. They're inconsistent. I don't trust Dallas. I know Dak's been playing well, but he also hasn't played good teams. They have not beat a team over 500 this year. And Seattle is over 500, but I don't think Seattle's anything special. I'll take Dallas in that one. Now to the Sunday games in the 1 o'clock slate. Colts-Titans. I'll take the Colts. They've been better than I thought this year, especially considering they lost their rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson back in week 4. They've had Gardner Minshew for the most part this year as a starting quarterback, and they've gotten by. I know they don't have Jonathan Taylor this week. He's going to miss the next couple of weeks with thumb surgery. But they Zach Moss, who when he was their top back when Taylor was holding out and recovering from an injury in the beginning of the season, he played really well. I think he'll step in very nicely. Titans are not very good. I will take the Colts in that one. Chargers Patriots. So you have the 4-7 Chargers, who are, of course, underperforming with that god-awful coach in Brandon Staley. Why he's still here, no idea. It's the Patriots. I'm taking the Chargers. I don't know who the Patriots quarterback is. Their offense is abysmal. I'm taking the Chargers in that one. If the Chargers lose to the Patriots, Brandon Staley should not be able to leave the stadium with a job. There's no way. He should not leave Gillette Stadium with a job. If the Chargers lose to the Patriots, I want the Chargers ownership team, the Spanos family, they need to sprint down onto the sideline and fire him on the sideline. Not even in the locker room. On the sideline. Don't let him get to a tunnel and fire him. They lose to the Patriots. No way they lose that game. I'm taking the Chargers, though. Lions and Saints, I'm taking the Lions. Come off, obviously, a tough loss to Green Bay on Thanksgiving. But Saints are not very good. Chris Olave might be hurt. Derek Carr's, he takes one hit. He just crumbles for whatever reason. I'm taking the Lions. Falcons, Jets. I mean, I've lost all confidence in the Jets. I'm taking the Falcons because I just don't have any confidence in this Jets anymore. They have probably the worst offense in the NFL. Bravo is atrocious. They're starting Tim Boyle's got no offensive line. It'll probably be a close game, I guess. But I'm taking the Falcons. I've lost all hope with it. With this Jets team now, and Rodgers, he's probably not coming back because he's not he's not there health wise. He's not gonna come back unless the Jets are in contention, which they're not gonna be. They basically already are. They've lost 4 in a row. I think it was a fifth. They haven't shown me anything. I'm down with this Jets team at this point, to be honest. Cardinals, Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers. Cardinals are not very good. Now, Pittsburgh's offense actually looked somewhat competent last week at the fire Matt Canada. Kenny Pickett didn't throw a touchdown, but he threw for 278 yards. Didn't turn the ball over. They went over 400 yards for the first time in a couple of years. So I will take the Pittsburgh Steelers. Miami Dolphins against the Washington Commanders. I'm taking the Dolphins. Commanders are absolutely horrible. They have the worst scoring defense in the NFL. Just fired their defensive coordinator. I'm not sure if that'll get them fired up, but also Miami's offense is tough to stop. I will take the Miami Dolphins. Also, Sam Howell's got no protection back there. Broncos against the Texans. I will take the Texans. Broncos have been playing really well. They've won 5 in a row. Russell Wilson has been playing well. The defense has played better. It's kudos to them. But Houston, they're also 6-5 this year. They've been a lot better than expected. CJ Stroud is a dog. Definitely the offensive rookie of the year. To me, he should be in the MVP conversation. I will take Houston in that one. 405. You got Panthers against the Bucks. God-awful NFC South matchup. Of course, Carolina fresh off firing their head coach, Frank Reich, and a couple of his assistants, his quarterback's coach, Josh McCown, and his running backs coach, Deuce Staley. I don't even know the interim coaches. Don't really care. I'm taking the Bucks. Both teams are good, but Carolina, that team is atrocious. They're an absolute mess. I'm taking the Bucks. 425. I got Browns, Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams. And the Browns overall they're 7-4. But that offense is a mess, obviously, losing Nick Chubb. And now, I don't know who the quarterback is. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, whatever the heck his name is. He got a concussion last week, so they might start P.J. Walker this week. They've been playing musical chairs at quarterback, So, I'm going to take the Rams in that one. 49ers, Eagles at 425. In a rematch of the NFC Championship game. Very highly anticipated. I'm going to take the Niners in this one. I know the Eagles have the best record in the NFL. But their secondary has struggled this year, and the 49ers got so many weapons in that offense. I think they're gonna have a hard time stopping them. Should be a phenomenal game, a possible game of the year candidate. Obviously, like I said, a rematch from the NFC Championship. The Eagles blew the 49ers out of the water last year. The 49ers have been saying, if Brock Purdy was healthy, they would have won. And Purdy's healthy now, so we shall see what happens. Could be a preview of this. Could be a playoff preview this year as well. But I will take the 49ers in this one. I think they're playing really well. When they're at the top of their game, they should be the team. They're a team to beat. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs Packers, taking the Chiefs. I don't expect Packers to be able to stop them. The Chiefs defense has played well. No, Drew Love the last couple of games has played a lot better. Still not sold. I'm taking the Chiefs. And then Monday Night Football, Bengals, Jaguars. I'm taking the Jaguars. Bengals season's over. They're 5-6. Their quarterback is Jake Browning. They got no offensive line, but their defense isn't great. Jacksonville, they're kind of a weird team. They're 8-3. They're one of the top teams in the league, one of the top teams in the AFC. And, but then, they've been inconsistent throughout the year and kind of got off to a slow start. Then they got rolling, and then they had a bad loss or two. Then you win last week over Houston. So I don't expect them to go on a huge run. at least a very good team. Trevor Lawrence overall has been playing very well after a slow start. So I'll take Jacksonville on that one. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Well, we expect to see the firing squad with Ashton, myself, Justin, and Liam tomorrow. And I'm sure I'll do something Friday, whether I do something with Justin or myself. I'm sure I will do something. But until next time, so long. Have a great day.